If you're staying in a hotel room with friends, you're also sharing a bathroom and a mirror and a tiny hair dryer. Get an Airbnb and get more space. You and I had to say goodbye, and I don't know what it means, but since I survived, I realized wherever you go, that's where I'll follow. Nobody's promised tomorrow, so I'ma love you every night like it's the last night, like it's the last night. If the world was ending. I love you, Poppy. I think it's time to change the tempo. So much been on my mental. Been freestyling, I don't need no paper or no pencil. Been left in the cold. My heart been broke, but I've been hoping for time on earth was strong. I wanna hold you just for a while. Time in the sun. If the world was ending, I'd wanna be next to you. Oh, lost in the words that we sing. I don't even want to do this anymore. Say all you want, we're fighting for. Wherever you go, that's where I'll follow. Nobody's promised tomorrow. So I'ma love you every night like it's the last night. Like it's the last night. If the world was I wanna be next to you. Was
I will, okay, well, this is a weird setup. Yeah. Okay. All right. It's gonna echo, and I was told not to touch my computer until after I play this song. So we're gonna start with a very important song. This song was created by a young person, Jay White, who was 15 years old when he was admitted to the Department of Corrections and was sentenced to 32 years.
I love you, Bobby. I think it's time to change the tempo. So much been on my mental. Been freestyling, I don't need no paper or no pencil. Been left in the cold. My heart been broke, but I've been hoping for hope. They say if I keep living that way, then I'ma hang myself. And the judge threw me the rope. See, I'm still young, but I still got some time. That if I go back to my mama house, then I might end up dying. 30 years, it's hard to count. Take a look up to the cloud and pray to God that he could help me out. And then I take another look and ask my mama and my daddy, is they proud? I could feel them crying once the rain start coming down. Like, son, what have you done inside this world that we brought you in? I did good, mama, look at my accomplishments. Somehow they just gone in the wind. Looking from the outside in, I can't win. They forgot about what I did when I got judged on my sins. See, I was playing basketball and you ain't make it to the games. I feel like I'm mad at y'all because y'all reached the heaven gates and left me in this world alone. I've been crying all alone. I've been holding on my pain. I don't want to let it go because I'll be feeling like a different person searching for a purpose. Gotta find a way before they come and murk me. Yo, Jay, drop that beat. Let's talk about them times I ain't have nothing to eat. Let's talk about them times I ain't have nowhere to sleep. Let's talk about the times I wore the same clothes a week. Lockdown inside that cell, the CO said he fucking with me. Leave me alone, I already feel like the world after me. I told my girl don't want her happy if somebody after me. Last night I woke up in a cold sweat, somebody blasted me. Can't even sleep good in my cell without them tapping me. Can't lay, I can't run. Can't forget where I came from. Can't win, I can't lose. And I'm the only one that improved. Can't play, I can't run. Can't forget where I came from. Can't win, I can't lose, and I'm the only one that improved. They told me that I'll be ruined. I put my pain in my music. I speak real shit fluently. I'm not capping this poetry. Been hiding my feelings. I'm hoping somebody notice me. I'm hoping somebody notice me. I'm the rose that grew from the concrete. Angels on my side, but my demons haunt me. Ain't no way that I can lose. I took so many losses. I can still hear your words. You got a long talent, little J. You better put it to work. I keep seeing death, so I don't know what's coming next. No heart inside that casket, but I know that I'll be fresh. Don't want no cowboy trying to take my life. Just look me in my eyes and tell my brothers them that they better go step for real. Can't say I can't run. Can't forget where I came from. Can't win, I can't lose, and I'm the only one that improved. Can't say I can't run. Can't forget where I came from. Can't win, I can't lose. I'm the only one that improved. Let's get into it. Yeah.
And then next, we have passed out data points to all of the members, and we'll ask, starting in this row, if we each could just say the data point out loud, a data point that represents young people in the state of Connecticut.
And if you can please speak loudly.
All right, and we have many more cards here, but this is to provide context to the population here in Connecticut. With that said, I'm just going to face this way instead of doing this. With that said, the Community Expertise Work Group consists of 5 providers: Love 146, the Center for Children's Advocacy, Next Level Empowerment, Our Piece of the Pie, and the Connecticut Justice Alliance. All 5 organizations work together with this initiative to start to begin to survey and collect the narratives of young people living across the state of Connecticut. This first report is a dive into the populations and the communities that they work most closest with. And it is a report that is meant to give the qualitative narrative to the numbers that this committee receives every other month. And so with that, the point of the CEW we got through. So with that, I'm just going to turn it over to our providers to begin, with their questions for the young people.
Can y'all hear me? Okay, cool. So as she mentioned before, I'm Dion Kelly. I am from Our Piece of the Pie Incorporated, and I'm going to start off with the very first question. So my first question, and I noticed that there are some people online, correct? So my first question to our youth participants is, how do you see yourself contributing to society when you achieve your goals? And I'll pass that first question off to Clarence.
Can you say the question again for me, please?
Yeah, I got you. So the question was, how do you see yourself contributing to society when you achieve your goals?
I see myself contributing to society by just giving back, like leading, just like doing things that nobody ever done for me when I was young, like just being a voice. You know what I mean? Being somebody's support system. I mean, you can never have too much support. So being people's support, giving back, things like that.
Thank you so much, Clarence, for your response. Jermaine, you're next.
Um, just like Clarence said, definitely giving back and giving more opportunities to the youth and to the neighborhood. Growing up, I didn't have a lot of opportunities and things handed to me, so I want to be like a support system, somebody they could come to talk to, just like a voice, somebody they could lean on.
Thank you so much, Jermaine. Felipe?
Like Jermaine said, just get back to the people. And like you said, I ain't had it like that growing up. So like, I just want to be somebody that I never had, like somebody that could help, somebody that could look up to me and stuff like that.
Thank you so much. Jordy, are they online or are they in person?
I'm right here.
All right, got you.
Can you say the question one more time too, please?
No problem. So the question was, how do you see yourself contributing to society when you achieve your goals?
Well, when I achieve my goals, so one of my goals is just to be here and kind of be that bridge to the gap. Like I was saying earlier, I want to, you know, see what these organizations are offering and kind of also spread the word to everybody that's in need so they can have these opportunities and resources that will better help their future instead of sending them to jail. So one of my goals is just here to network with as much of these organizations as possible and be that bridge to the youth that's out there that's in need.
Thank you so much. A very strong point. Selena, did I say that right?
Um, in the future, I see myself working in the economic industry to help address economic disparities that are built against people that are lower income and they disproportionately affect marginalized communities. I want to learn more about these economic disparities, especially from the perspective of those who are mainly affected, so that I can help address them through my career.
Thank you so much. Sean Bennett from Our Piece of the Pie Incorporated. Sure. So how do you see yourself contributing to society when you achieve your goals?
I see myself working with the many organizations that are here within Hartford to not only just make sure that help with the numbers going down for youth and incarceration, but also make it so that there's more opportunities available for those youth who are before they get to reach that point where open up work in more ways to open up more uh, opportunities such as recreation centers, more stuff, and more ways to keep the youth out of trouble and out of the streets.
Thank you so much, Shauna. We appreciate your response. All right, Jonathan Weaver, I'm gonna pivot just a little bit. So what is your motivation for wanting to guide youth onto the right path?
What motivates me to actually help the youth out is more of my life experience of what I've been through and to give back and actually show that we can actually be here for one another, not just of the youth and also the young adults who are coming up in the justice system and beyond that. So at the end of the day, I feel like we can all contribute no matter of what little you have done in your life or what you have done or what you experience. We could also bring that to the youth and show them that there's other outlets, there's other ways to contribute to community, to actually bring upon for us to do better and to actually contribute for yourself to live on and do better, you know?
Thank you so much, Mr. Weaver.
Thank you.
Lastly, Curtis Williams, how do you see yourself contributing to society when you achieve your goals?
I see myself like helping out the society by providing anyone in need assistance at any point in time. Like currently I'm a CNA in training, which I'm able to help a wide variety of elderly people that can't help themselves, and I feel like in the future if I'm able to become a doctor, I'm able to help more people.
Thank you so much, boss man. All right, I'm gonna turn it over to Miss Stella.
Good afternoon, young people. I'm really excited to be here. My name is Stella Rose Duguay, and I am a youth organizer for the Center for Children's Advocacy. And it's really exciting to see some familiar faces up here. And also want to shout out our young people who are online, who are going to be here with us today answering questions. Your voices are extremely important. Many times as adults, we feel that we know what to do based on our training and our expertise. But when we hear it straight from the mouths of people who are affected by the system, it's a complete game changer. So I love the fact that all of you are making it very clear to the adults in the room that every person, every young person wants to be successful, doesn't matter if they have involvement in the juvenile justice, and that they can be used in mighty ways for prevention, because prevention truly is the key to make sure that other people don't have to go through the same things that we've gone through. And I just want to say thank you for everything that you said. So we are going to move to the next question. In our youth report, we've asked a lot of young people what their barriers were to achieving their goals. Everyone here has a goal, but they foresee that this could possibly get in the way of me reaching my goals. We call those the anticipated barriers. So I'm going to ask Clarence first. So Clarence, can you just repeat for us again what your goals are for transitioning into adulthood? What do you want to do?
What I want to do, like, what I want to do for a career is right now, I'm thinking about going to trade school. Then after that, I want to see how that goes and like start my own business.
Okay, so my question to you is, what do you think could trip you up from accomplishing that goal? What do you see getting in the way?
Um, I'll say my community, like I'll say my community because that's the main thing that distracts me for my community, and it's like it's hard separating yourself from people you love and you grew up with like your whole life. So it's like when you grow up and you know you want to change for yourself, or as you growing up and you know you want to change for yourself, it's hard to shift yourself from that perspective. So I'll say my community.
Excellent, and we absolutely understand that. Jermaine, same question for you. What do you see getting in the way of you accomplishing your goals?
Um, well, one of my goals is to basically come home and find something I could do with the youth, like a program or something, or even like when school starts to give back to them like book bags, school supplies, clothes. One thing that could get in the way of that is my finances, not having the right money, people to support me, help me with that. So yeah.
Thank you for that. Felipe, same question. What could potentially get in the way of you accomplishing your goals?
What do you want? What is one of your goals?
All my goals is finish in school, try to go to college for my barbering license, and yeah, that's about it.
So what would get in the way with you getting your license?
Not being surround the right people to be surrounded, like negative people. I've been surrounded a lot of negative people, so I feel like more positive people give me so much better in life. Yeah.
Thank you very much for your answers. Tristan Littleton, what are your biggest concerns with reaching your goals? And what do you think can help with this? And you can talk to us about you personally or also what you're seeing with your teens.
Um, Today in school and yesterday, I had asked a couple teachers and students what they thought growing up prevented them from achieving their goals. And then I also had tried to figure out what was preventing me from achieving my goals. And a lot of the stuff that I was seeing was stress and or pressure, whether it was coming from trying to please your family, trying to do good in school, or trying to maintain relationships with friends or a significant other. Stress usually holds back a lot of scholars and it affects them more than some may realize. And along the way, it could lead to students dropping out, not taking help from the people who are trying to help them, and it could lead to them committing crimes that otherwise they wouldn't be doing to begin with.
Thank you, Tristan. I saw a lot of people nodding their head. Vince, I missed you, so I'm going to circle back to you, okay? I apologize for that. What is one thing that you feel like could potentially get in the way of you accomplishing your goals?
Um,
What's one of your goals?
one of my goals is, go home and have a better mindset. This is nothing but a time to just get my mind right from what I did before and stuff like that. One of the problems I got is my finances, really. Also, just my community, the people I was around when I was home, they didn't set a positive role for me to follow, and I let it guide me in the wrong path, which won't happen again. But yeah, I just want to make money and just live life. I want to go on vacation and stuff like that. Like I don't want to do this for the rest of my life, nothing like that.
Perfect. Me too. And I'm really glad that you are learning from your experiences. And so you guys know a lot of young people said finances is a barrier. About 15% of our youth answered that finances is a concern of theirs. Kaylon Miller, what kind of barriers do you see getting in the way of teens reaching their goals?
Me personally, in the future, my goal is to become a professional business owner, and a few goals I see in the future for me is a lack of resources. A few things that really like I would need assistance on. Like if I had more people to help me, more people to guide me and lead me in the way that I should go, so that I could achieve my goals and just be the best that I can be, I would really be able to be proficient at these things. Another thing that I like that would personally barrier me is financial constraints. Um, Currently in school right now, I am currently doing 2 dual enrollment classes that is going to help me get a free year off of my college thing. And if honestly, my family, I know I personally wouldn't be able to afford college. So having more resources to get free college credits would really help me out and really be able to help me be able to achieve my goal of becoming a professional business owner.
Thank you, Kaylon. And Araya Miller, are you here? Araya. So what is a barrier for you potentially to accomplish your goals?
I think the main barrier to reaching goals is a lot of what people have mentioned with mental health support. One thing that the New Haven Expertise Work Group did was these monthly town halls where we had like justice impacted students come in and their parents, and a lot of what we heard was that they didn't have the resources and the mental health support that they needed. We had a student come in who cried to us, sharing how they struggled to get counselor support, and I think a lot of just the counseling support within schools isn't enough. We see that there's like probably one social worker, school counselor, psychiatrist per like over 150 students, and that's not enough to give the support that these students need. And they need support not only within schools, but the time periods after school where a lot of this crime is happening. So providing that support and that community support, like a lot of people have said previously, um, there's this negative cycle within the community. So if we have community systems and programs in place that can offer this kind of support, it would be very useful.
Thank you for your answer. Elijah Hechevarria Valdez. Actually, same question. What are the barriers that you are most concerned with?
Hi. So I think financial barriers are definitely a big thing for me. There have been multiple moments in my life where I thought I was gonna be out on the street, but due to these organizations helping me out, I was able to get on my feet and continue on that upward path. And another concern I have is like how she's just said, the lack of like, I wouldn't say the lack of mental support, but there's so many youth out there that it's hard to just help everybody. And unfortunately, with these social stigmas we have and these cultural standards, sometimes these mental issues aren't even acknowledged back at home. So the place where you live isn't even as safe for you. And when these organizations come and they help us and provide that support to us, that becomes our home. And we continue to uplift our home through that.
Thank you so much for your extremely thoughtful answer. And Kelton, are you here? Same question for you. What is your biggest concerns or barriers?
Um, some of my biggest concerns are just where the money is going, basically, for the youth. Like I know DOC, they got tablets for everybody in MYI and other jails, but none of that money's going towards mental health. And I just want to know, like, I get the tablets, I get it's useful, but mental health can stop them from coming into jail. So where's the money going? What's it used for? And when you are using it, is it the best way we're using it?
Thank you so much. And I'm going to pass it off to Christina from Connecticut Justice Alliance.
Thank you, Stella. So the topic I'm going to be speaking about with you all right now, and you'll hear from the young people, is safety and support. We spent a lot of time speaking about sort of what their definition of safety is, who they identify as supports. We asked the question that you can see on the screen. How often do you feel unsafe in your community? And having that discussion about what unsafe means. And you can see that a big piece of the pie, that the brighter orange, it was almost 40% of always, and that is a problem. So we're hoping that moving forward, after we're all around this table together and we've sort of shifted the dynamic of the room, we can work on that. We asked and talked with many young people around the state, and we asked them what they were seeing in schools, who are the safe people that they can identify in their lives, who are they able to turn to, how they're treated by authority figures, whether they're in their schools or their communities. And what exactly can the adults that are in your lives or the folks that are providing you support do to improve on the types of supports they're offered? So if we're going to change the camera over to the young men that are talking with us from Manson Youth, and we'll go through. And it would be great to hear from you all just speaking on safety and support. And how safe do you feel in your community? How safe do you feel in the space that you are now? And what supports do you need?
Want to start?
Uh, I do feel safe in my community, but a lot of things been going on that nobody's safe nowadays. Like my family, I feel like they're not safe out there because a lot of things going on nowadays. So, but I do got a lot of support. I got my family supporting me at always in all times. So yeah, like I'm good. I got a good support in my life.
So back home, I feel like in my community, I feel safe. But nowadays, you can't get too comfortable because anything can happen at any time. So in a community that is not safe, you gotta know how to move. That's in the world and in here too. Communities in here, we gotta know how to move. We gotta know just like how to deal with certain things. And you could be safe anywhere, but you could be unsafe anywhere too. So you just gotta know how to move and do certain things.
Yeah, my community, I don't really feel safe just because all the gun violence going around in my community. But I do got a good support system. My mom, she take good care of me and stuff like that. And in school, I wasn't the best, but I did get my high school diploma, got that done. And I feel like this program right here that we're in me and youth is good for me. It helps me with anger management, all types of stuff that I need for the environment when I go back home. So my support system's pretty good now.
Um, I'll say for me, my community, like I feel safe in it, but in all reality, I know it's not safe. But that's just what I'm immune to, like what I grew up around, and like, me being in here, realize like for me, like the community definitely not right for me. My support system in schools, like I feel like it been good, but if it was a little bit more stronger, like my mental power would have been a little different. Um, and I'll say like my support system in here is definitely strong for sure because I came here a little young and I never left. Like I never went home and came back. Like this the first my first time being incarcerated. So like everybody see the potential in me. So my support system is definitely very strong in here, and that let me know that I got something in me that I don't see in myself that others see in me, and that give me hope. So I'll say my support system go to here.
For me, I don't feel safe in my community just because of the gun violence, um, opioids, different drug abuse and things going on like that, domestic violence. It's a lot going on in my community right now, and I've been identifying it since I've been in here. But when I was home, I was just like he said, immune to these things, and I was around it so much, I looked at it as normal. But now I see it as a problem. I had a juvenile probation officer. Whenever I needed help or felt like I was in trouble or anything like that, I reached out to him. He connected me with different resources and programs and groups, things like that. I would say my support system is very good. I have people who's behind me, willing to do what they need to do for me, and I just been building opportunities and everything. Um, Even the authority, they treat me very well. People with authority in my schools and here. So yeah.
Thank you all. Do you have anybody else have any other thoughts before we move on to the folks in the room?
Mm. I
No?
think we said everything we had to say.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Nazir King, you thought the question of Do teens feel safe in your community? And would you like to just describe some things to us that may make someone who is a teen feel unsafe?
Um, I feel like something that will make like a teen feel unsafe in the community that I'm in is like, I feel like it's a lot of lack of resources and it's a lot of like gang violence and gun violence, and I don't think that's good for teenagers in my community. And I feel like majority of the issues that come that like majority of the crimes and issues that come in the neighborhood is from people of my age or a little younger than me. So I feel like the community not really safe, and I feel like there needs to be more like people or like programs to like really help us out.
Thank you. And Jonathan Weaver, where do you feel most supported?
I feel more supported in my family, you know, in my community. I may not say it's the perfect place or the safest place, but it's decent, you know. This world may not be as, you know, sane as we want it to be, but at the end of the day, I make it the best I can. You know, at the end of the day, I take the resources that the community and what Connecticut brings to me, and I take it and I utilize it. I utilize it because at the end of the day, there isn't a lot of things that we can do, but what we could do for ourselves. So at the end of the day, if we take more of what we do instead of trying to force others, then it'll be a better community. Because at the end of the day, we're focused on self. And everybody in this room and everybody who's on this board knows it's about yourself and yourself only. So how I support is me, myself, and my family and my community who comes last because yes, they're there, but these are the people who actually been where I've been through, what I've been through, you know, me being a former incarcerated inmate and everything else that I've been through in my life. Yeah. So family do come first for me.
Thank you. And Antoine, what types of support do you think teens need to be happy, healthy, and successful in life?
Antoine unfortunately couldn't make it, but maybe we can find someone else who would like to answer that question if you want to repeat it.
Oh yes. So the question is, and more than one person could answer it. Oh look, y'all are ready. Good. How about Josiah and then Nazir, and then we could maybe get a third person. Go ahead. Oh yeah, I will. Um, so what types of supports do teenagers need to be happy, healthy, and successful?
Um, so honestly, I think like a loving family system, like somewhere they could like school, they need like support in school, having someone they could talk to, having a place they can go. Outside of school, they need like if they're like, oh, I want to do something after school, or like I don't feel good right now, like I don't really want to talk to my parents about it. Who can I talk to? Like a rec center or anything along those lines, like just someone who you can talk to and who could like help you out. I feel like that's one of the main things that would really be helpful.
Thank you.
Um, I feel like something that would be helpful is like we need like you said, we need like more like family involvement for people, and like we need more like community involvement, community help, and we need more mentors and stuff like that, like rec centers, and we need like more like stuff like open for the community because it's like a lot of people don't got stuff to do, so they be chilling with the wrong people, and then they get into stuff they don't want to get into. Okay, my answer to this question, or what I think a teen needs, is I think a teen needs a mentor outside of school that they could talk to about anything. Inside of school, what I think they need a good friend group to support them and be around them and tell them what's right from wrong.
And Jonathan, do you? Thank
Um,
you.
I feel like these three brothers just said, it's more of just one-on-one interaction, more getting to understand that youth, more of what they've been through and trying to interact in their lifestyle, not in more of what we've been through. If we don't have that understanding, that experience as well, how can we compare to our youth and the people that we are trying to work with in our community? So I feel like, yeah, it should be more resources into more mentoring, more big brother, you know what I'm saying, more things that we can do to give to youth so they can take in the heat. And instead of just going to a recreational center or going to a program which may not be open 24 hours, which you can contact, you know, one of us or have our personal cell phone number, or we have a social media chat where you can contact us and actually reach out when you're feeling unsafe, feeling that you need to contact somebody, your mental health is not stable, there's something going on in your life that you cannot vent to your friends or family about. but you may come somebody outside your circle. So I feel like if we more go into being like I said, more of a big brother, a big sister, a mentor, then the youth will more understand us than just saying, "Hey, this is what I did, this and that." I want no. It doesn't have to be a school experience. I don't have to have a master's, a bachelor to understand life experience. I don't have to study that. I know this because I went through it. I've been through it. So I feel like we need more support system amongst us in our community where we can individually talk to them.
That's right. And I would say you do know it because you lived it much better than anybody who got that piece of paper. So I appreciate that answer. Anyone else want to answer that? Or we also have Jana's son or Jana Percy. And then Jana or Johnny, and you can tell me how to say your name right. I apologize.
It's Jana.
Repeat the question. Please repeat the
Yes,
question.
Percy, I will. And thank you, Jana. The question is, what do you think teenagers need to be happy, successful, like able to grow and thrive? What did you need?
Well, firstly, regarding happiness, you need to have to be mentally stable. And one of the things to be mentally stable is to have the basic resources that everybody has. Most of us don't have father figures, so we tend to look for the outside. What is the community? Who is the elders? What are they doing, right? And if we're in a society, in a community that is portraying us and want us to live a certain way, then we shall follow that. When also too as well, when social media is portrayed and us to brainwash us and to think a certain way. For example, I speak upon myself. I'm just as impacted and also just as involved. Just as involved. I also have been stabbed 7 times. And for me to get to the point where I'm at now, to speak to all of y'all, I had to rehabilitate and hide in my room for a whole year, right? So not a lot of people have this fortune to be able to leave your community and have the resources to rehabilitate yourself. Where this so now going back to happiness, we need a place that we can rehabilitate ourselves. We have trauma that is not talked about. Most people in these positions have PTSD, as I talked about in our Norwalk vision session yesterday, that we have PTSD on a level as people that come from war, right? And some like I speak a very small example of myself that I caught myself a couple years back. I was walking to the store and I started to tie my sandals to let a guy walk past me, right? Because of the trauma I've been through, right? And it may seem ridiculous to the point where, oh, is a child, oh, he's tying something that's not there, but this is what people need to feel safe, right? They take these implements regarding hiding in the views, hiding in your room, drug abuse to deal with your problems. And going back to the brothers, what he said regarding mentorship, if you don't have somebody to speak upon, you end up driving yourself crazy.
Thank you, Percy. And
I think similarly in the New Haven meetings, we've had a lot of youth and parents come, and like mental health is definitely a resource that's lacking. Um, yeah, I think just some of what people are going through in New Haven just every day is traumatic, and they have a hard time like stepping out of that to even recognize it. So just like more resources and attention towards that is needed. And then same with like mentorship and even other like community support. Sometimes it's like the love is said, but there's not necessarily like consistency or follow through. So those are also important aspects of like program development that needs to be actually affected.
thank you. And anyone else in the before me that wants to speak on safety and support, you have the floor or the mic.
Thank you all. I'm going to pass my mic over to Jackie.
I apologize. My name is Jacqueline James. I, along with myself, Ray Boyd, my husband Ray Boyd, we co-founded the Next Level Empowerment Program. We currently are providing services and resources to formerly incarcerated individuals and their families within the community, and we're also working with NYI. We provide a life skills program at NYI weekly to the men that are currently there. So today we're here to talk about resources. I've heard everyone talk about the need for resources in their community. And I will honestly say, having been a DCF worker for 15 years previously and served on the Board of Aldermen for 15 years, I feel like this is a conversation we literally been having for 30 years. We're back to where are the resources? Although we do know there are some resources within our community, I think there are still gaps in services. And we would like to hear from you. What are the services and the resources that you need in your community? First, we would like to hear from the young men at NYI. What do you feel is lacking or was lacking in your community that really could have helped you in the town that you currently live in? Jermaine, we will start with you and go all the way to Felipe. Thank you.
All right. Some of the resources I think is lacking in my community is definitely therapy, anything therapeutic, support services, and I would say like dealing with mental health and anxiety and PTSD and all these different things. We definitely need somebody to talk to, and being a participant in a group. Ray Boyd runs here with us. He's like a ear to us, so we come to him with any problems and we can say how we feel, get things off our chest, and he listens and he tries to help us to the best of his ability with those things. Also, knowing how to have access and get access to these resources in the community if they are available. Most people don't know how to, so postering that and putting that out there to the public will definitely help, and I know it would have helped me.
I'll say mentors in the schools and outside the schools. Cause usually, like speaking from my perspective, like, going to school, my day will be totally different from my afternoon. Like I'll go to school, then when I leave out, it's like reality hit. Like wow, like back to this, like back to the BS. So I feel like more mentors, therapy for sure, um, and more voices, like more big brothers, big sisters, people that are go-tos in the community. Because when I was younger and I was going through what I was going through, like I couldn't talk to somebody about my palm that was my age, like 12 years old, 11 years old. So I feel like more voices, more people that is open to help young people with their problems.
Thank you. Vince's?
I feel like what's lacking in the community is probably like more recreational centers, have like more programs for the youth that they can go over there with their problems, just be heard. Um, Even join like show willing to volunteer to show us like sports, something that a father can't show us. Like what if some of us didn't have fathers growing up? Like it's harder for some people. Like so I feel like what's lacking is probably like father figures, even if for some people that don't have fathers in their lives. You know, like somebody to guide them the right path, so they won't end up, in a bad predicament or worse. Um, Probably more recreational centers, I would say. That's pretty thing I just felt like we're lacking.
Thank you. Carmelo?
I would say just having a lot of better role models. Because I feel like a lot of us end up in these situations because we're just angry and we don't got people to talk to, someone to be vulnerable to, someone to let them know that how we really feel deep down. Um, just having more places to go to where I could just be stress free A lot of us had to grow up fast. We had to be a man at a young age. So it's like we feel like we gotta fill these big shoes and we got a lot on our shoulders. And it's like it's okay to talk. A lot of us are scared to talk. I feel like it's okay to talk and let somebody know how you really feel because everybody go through things. If you don't know, just a conversation can help you feel way better. So I feel like just having role models and people to talk to and just um, yeah, just having people to talk to for real.
For me, therapy, I feel like that'd be good for people our age, for everybody. Somebody that could listen to you and express your feelings to them. And programs for people like us, like we ain't had the money to like go to programs and like play basketball and stuff like that. Like not everybody. I'm not saying like me. I ain't had the money to go to programs so I could stay out the street. Like I grew up in the other side. Like I feel like programs will keep people out of the streets. And yeah, like that. So yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen. Araya, can you please tell us what do you believe is lacking within your community and what are some of the resources that the youth have access to and are working to keep them enriched and safe?
Sorry. Yes, I definitely think, to echo what a lot of people have mentioned already, is that there just needs to be a space for community and a space for these events to happen. We see, for example, in New Haven, we have the Q House, but that's mostly available to the Dixwell community. We don't see a lot of people from the Hill or Fairhaven area going there. And even within that community, there's a program that is kind of exclusive in that it can only offer so many numbers of people at certain times, and there's multiple days and hours within the day where that space is just not being used at all, and it has the equipment, it has everything there that people can be utilizing, but it's kind of just going to waste. And on top of that, New Haven's like it's a city with one of the best universities in the world. It has numbers of universities where we have the human resources. Just the number of people at this panel today shows that there's so many people that are invested in this and that are willing to be mentors and will offer their time and can do and give what we want to see. We can give that mentorship. So the resources are there, but they aren't being properly utilized. We're not making the strategic partnerships that we should be making to allow things to happen and have longevity. So yeah, I think mentorship, having time and spaces where students can get involved in recreational activities that will engage them in the ways that they want to be engaged. Because, for example, in our survey, we saw a lot of people are interested in creative outlets. They want to do digital media. They want to have like a beauty and barber academy, things of this nature that you can't have within schools, but we could offer after school. And having a space just to do these things would be very important.
Thank you. My next question is for Alawasi. Did I say that right? And please forgive me, Queen.
Hello, my name is Oluwaseyi, so you're close.
Oluwase.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk about a service that I feel like doesn't get as much attention, but is just as needed within the Hartford area. So because of like because Connecticut, if you live within 2 miles of your school, you're not eligible for a school bus. A lot of the young people in Hartford rely on public transit to attend school or engage in extracurricular activities. And I've noticed that my peers have been limited by their inaccess to transportation. And we talk a lot about the need to install new community centers and ways for youth to engage and, you know, be in these positive communities, but we don't really address the barriers that a lot of young people face in accessing these spaces. So I think that having some sort of program that makes transportation accessible for young people in Hartford who don't have the privilege of having a parent to pick them up 4 hours after school or just or access to private transportation. I think that's something that we really need to address because I know that for a lot of my peers, their ability to attend school, their ability to participate in sports and extracurriculars is tied to their ability to buy a bus pass. And I don't think that's something that should be limiting youth's potential. And yeah, that's what I'll say.
Thank you. And thank you for highlighting that for us. I think you're right. That's truly important. Access to proper transportation.
Gavin, I have a question for you. What programs do you know of either in school or in the community that are making a good impact on the youth in your neighborhood? What is that program?
A program in my community that is making a good impact on youth is our piece of the pie. What they're here today. I didn't know that. Why I think this is because OPP's YDSs, or in other words, youth development specialists, do bi-weekly or weekly grade checkups for kids slash young adults in high school or in college that are struggling, and they sit there and talk about how they could get these grades up and what they could do for that. They also do mental health checkups and goal setting meetings for the youth when they first start out. Um, Another thing that OPP also does, we do cleanups to impact Hartford, and like we clean up Berry Square almost every summer. And yeah, that's a program in my community.
Thank you. Thank you. Josiah Green, what are some of the programs that you believe can be helpful within your community and may be missing?
Um, Building on like what I recently just heard, um, with what Olu said about the CT transit, the like taking oh, my bad, taking CT transit, like a bus pass costs $1.40 for kids, for teens, and that builds up a lot over time. So some people have like resorted to making fake bus passes that like they buy one time and they'll just use it. And like another thing is, if I'm late to school, I don't my parents won't drop me off. They're already at work, they're already gone. So I'll have to take CT transit, and it builds up over time. Um and like it's one of like the major things that like really affect me when I try to get to school, or like when I want to go somewhere. And building on that, there's nothing that like cheap or close to Hartford. That's where I live. Um like we do have rec centers. We have Parker, we have Boys and Girls Club, we have YMCA. But most of them you have to pay like a fee, and if you don't have enough money to like pay the fee, you can't really go. So if you need like we also have Hartford Pal. If you want to go to Hartford Pal, you have to have a phone number. You have to call your parents. You have to do like a lot of things. If you want to go to the YMCA, you have to pay a $10 fee. Recently, they just changed it to like Hartford residents. They'll be able to go in for free. But like programs like that are charging money for kids to go in, and like what if they don't have the money to go every single time? What if they don't have the money to go in? What if what if they just don't have the accessibility to call their parents? They just want somewhere to go, someone that's close to them, and somewhere to just be able to hang out with kids like that. And I feel like that's one of the major roadblocks, especially with like how you get around there or how you go there. If it's not walking distance, like how am I getting there? My parents aren't dropping me off there. As now I'm staying after school for a while. I'll either have to take the school bus. That's fine. But if I wanted to go somewhere else, or go somewhere like go anywhere other than that, what option do I have other than paying for it?
Thank you. Jordy, can you tell us about your community? What are some of the resources in your community and what do you believe it's missing?
One of the resources in my community that I'm aware of is a program called Domus, where they focus a lot on like skill development, and they partner you up with the right person based on your goals. So when I started this program after I got out of jail, I wanted to do something with my hands. So there was a person there that was an electrician. So I figured like why not try to be an electrician? And this person kind of helped me and guided me to go in that path. And as of right now, I'm close to getting my license by the end of this year. So thank you.
Great, Phil.
So things like that are very important because once we come out here, we kind of have, or like when a person like me is in jail and comes out here, they need that guidance, and they need to be partnered up with the right person. It can't just be just anybody trying to just motivate you, because it's not gonna work if they don't have similar goals or been through similar things. Like the brother here said, wants to be a professional business person. the person that was assigned to me wouldn't be able to help him because they have no knowledge of business. So if somebody with knowledge of business were to mentor him, he will further, be able to reach that goal better. And in our community, it doesn't seem to be a lot of that. I'm just aware of this one program, but I feel like there should be a lot more in skill development. And I also heard somebody talking about trying to be in the trades, and that's important because a lot of times it seems like the trades are overlooked, and people just like wants to go to college for these other things, and a lot of people are not in that capacity all the time, or that's not their passion, and they're not aware of these opportunities where they can become tradesmen, can be plumbers, carpenters, electricians, HVACs. Like we see that a lot, and it's a good industry to get into, especially now because a lot of people are not getting into these industries because they're not aware, and then I guess I don't know if they're afraid of hard work, but it's missing a lot of people. And if you want to get into this industry, it's a great opportunity right now. So being able to have the proper guidance to get you into these spaces that are gonna help you become successful is very important to a youth that just is coming out of jail or like hasn't had those resources available to them. Especially I notice a lot that mentorship is a big thing, and having that person there could be the difference between you making it and becoming successful, or you going to jail, or even possibly dying in the streets because of the things that are happening. And I just want that to be more involved, like the right mentorship and having the right criteria and partnering the mentors with the right people.
Thank you, Jordy. Thank you, and we're very proud of you. Thank you. Sean Bennett, I have a question for you around mental health. Why do you believe so many teens feel that mental health therapy is needed in their community?
There are several reasons why many teens feel that mental health and therapy are needed in their community. One being increasing stress and pressure. Teens face significant academic, social, and extracurricular pressures leading to stress, anxiety, and other things. Another one is growing awareness and reducing stigmas of efforts to normalize mental health discussions and reducing stigma have encouraged teens to speak openly about their struggles and seek help. Another one is social media and technology. Social media can uh, extra feelings and what do you see? Low self-esteem and loneliness, highlighting the need for mental health support, for lack of resources and support. Many communities lack accessibility, affordable, and youth-friendly mental health resources, leading teens to advocate for better support systems. Uh, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Kelton, can you also elaborate on that more? Why do you think so many teens feel that therapy is needed within their community?
Um, I think just because, like you said before, the community. Oh, this is better. I think the community is just really stressful. Like there was this young person that's MYI. He just killed somebody. He's 17, but then the person he killed was 16. Just and his friends got to live with that. His parents got to live with that. Your cousins, your aunts and uncle, you're all living in the same side of town. So it's like just this added on stress of that. Like there was a fight at the courthouse. That fight translates to outside the courthouse kind of thing, and it's you live with that, and you never know who has a gun. Like I live in New Haven, so you never really know who has a gun. You never know what's gonna happen. You never know if somebody's gonna do something. So just that fear, and as someone said earlier, PTSD is on that mind. So the fear, PTSD, the not knowing, just it's a lot for youth to get through. It's not just the youth either. Adults be scared. Like one experience, I went to get gas the other day, and this lady wouldn't get out her car. Like she's terrified, but I can't see you, so I'm thinking it's a problem with me. I'm like, I don't know what you're on. You don't know what I'm on. I'm here to get gas, so are you? But you're so scared that something's gonna happen to your car. You wait till I get in my car to pull off before you get out. So it's just that right there is a lot, and that's why they probably need therapy.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to elaborate on that, the need for therapy in your community? What are you seeing with regards to being able to access those services and resources? Yes, Percy, and then I will go to Mr. Wallace.
I believe I believe that the reasons why we need a therapy is because we're not addressing the root cause. And one of the root causes is that at the early age we have a lot of free time. Going back to what the brothers were saying regarding the rec centers and the community centers. When you have these community centers and these rec centers, there's always some type of problem with them regarding funding or the lack of quality into them. Like for example, the average person comes out of school at 2:30. There should be after school from 2:30 at least to 5:30, and then there should be an extra option to go to a rec center to at least 8 o'clock. So the more freedom they have, the more time that they have, the more options of them doing things without guidance.
Thank you. Mr. Wallace?
Hello. I would like to address the question about resources. I feel like career development, it's a huge thing that youth need to like learn more about, because like we go to school, we learn about math, science, reading, and history. We're not learning about what we want to do at the next level. And I feel like that's why youth decide to go like try to make money from selling drugs and try to make money from like unnecessary things, so because they don't know what they want to do with
Their
their life and do
options, yeah.
like have opportunities. So I feel like that's a big thing, and that helping kids develop something like they want to do at the next level of life can like it's better than like well like recreation, like the like BGCs and stuff are good and stuff, but like that's like kids going there to go play basketball and stuff like that, and it's low chances of to play next level sports and stuff like that. So like if you have a career like social work that I want to be into, social work, and like finding like other opportunities like communication skills and working on all those different life skills can help you.
Thank you. Thank you. I am finished with my, oh, go ahead. Yes.
I had heard a question about you more opportunities and like the programs and stuff like that, and I had a few
Go ahead.
that I had heard of or have came in contact with. There's Our Piece of the Pie, there's Hartford's Proud, Project Legacy, Wise Guys Super Scissor Society, which is the barber school. There's I heard there was some people looking for that sort of trade, and then there's also I heard someone mention Parker Recreational Center. There's also a youth group there that it's called Speak Up. And then there's another one that I have been involved with for years. There's Hartford City Mission. That's a program. Yeah.
I believe there was someone else.
So I feel as though I think the reason that we might need therapy in our community is due to generational trauma that's been passed down. This is something that's like highly susceptible to people in lower income areas. It's something that's, and I also think that it pertains to your talk about resources. Financial resources and financial trauma is what leads a lot of people down the wrong path. They don't know what to do. They just follow the path that they think they have to do based on what they see around them. I feel as though if people were more aware of financial literacy and what they could do and how they could better their lives, they would be more capable and more able to follow. And OPP, Our Piece of the Pie, was one of the people, like they were able to put me through a financial literacy course, and through their training and through their help, I was even able to buy my first car and such things like that. So I feel as though like, I feel like if more people are aware of these things, and if we had this therapy to get over these generational traumas and financial traumas, we would be better off as a community and be better to push forward.
Thank you. Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to share? Yes.
I wanted to tie off what he was saying because I feel like sometimes with the generational trauma, it gets to a point where youth don't even realize that they're experiencing it. and I feel like therapy could help like make them acknowledge what issues are actually going on. Because an example is me and my friend Josiah, we live right near each other in the same neighborhood, and occasionally there's like violence, there's car crashes, gunshots and everything, and it had got to the point where me and him, we weren't even like afraid or worried when it would happen. We would just like text each other and we'd be like, oh, I know you heard that, or do you hear what's going on? And we would just not even be concerned about it as much because we're used to it and we've been living in the environment for such a long time.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, anyone on the screen with you gentlemen? Yes, Clarence.
Um, when you ask me why do I believe so many teens feel that mental health and therapy in the community is needed, um, I feel like mental health and therapy is needed in the community because a lot of teenagers' issues come from home, and so if you're not comfortable to talk about your problems that you have in your house with your household, you gotta have it with somebody. So I feel like therapy is very important. Somebody you could talk to, a teenager could talk to, that's gonna listen to their problems and try to help them go on the right path.
Thank you. Thank you, Clarence. Would anyone else like to share? Yes, please.
I would like to add on the point regarding generational trauma. Most people from low income places experience their first time different from people that are from high income first times. Example, when you're 7 years old, people from high income learn how to ride a bike. Then people from low income see their first dead body.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Anyone else? Thank you. Yes.
I feel as though young people who are around my age or around other people's age, some young people don't usually think that mental health is important because of the way that social media plays a part in our day by day lives. Some people think that mental health is just something that is spoken about in different places. But when you actually think about it, mental health is not only a way that people express themselves, but mental health is also, it doesn't just have to do with people being able to express how they feel. Mental health is also, it plays part also in our environments due to the fact that there's such things such as peer pressure. There's a large number of things that play into mental health, but I feel as though some people don't take it as serious because of the things that people our age say, or just off the simple fact of like, it's not a good mindset to have. But I've spoken to people in the past few weeks that when I ask them about their mental health, their response is basically just like, they're trying to live day by day and they don't really know like if they're gonna make it to even see tomorrow, to be able to say like, oh, my mental health is okay at this point in time. um I feel like there's things that play into that also, but I just feel like once the message is put across and there's other things that can be able for teens to be able to understand more and more how important their mental health is, but not just them, but show them ways and teach them ways of how they can show other people, show them other resources that they have used to better their mental health. But just to, I feel like the younger people, I feel like the message just needs to get across that your mental health and your peers' mental health are important, and it's not just like something that's just there.
Yes, 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 yes. Thank you. I want to thank each and every one of you for your wisdom and your courage that you've lent to this process. We truly appreciate you being here today. And I'll turn it back over to Brittany. Sharing this hour and a half with us.
and sharing your thoughts, not being afraid, and saying what you believe, and talking from your heart, and sharing it so that you can help the next person behind you. You have done an amazing job to the point where I have no idea how important it is for you to share with us. Because we get a lot of books, we get a lot of reports, we get a lot of data, we get a lot of things like that. But being able to hear you and see you and feel you meant a lot. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do this, but this is what I think juvenile justice should be for all of our community. Giving you a voice to tell us what we're doing wrong, not what you're doing wrong. What are we doing wrong? We know that we have these ideas, but we don't know how to address it and provide it for you. I want to ask a question. This is a very serious one. I don't mean how many of you in here feel you had a childhood? Why did I ask that? What's important about childhood?
I feel as though having a childhood with both parents involved, I feel like that has like a bigger turnout, not just on youth, but adults as well. I feel like having both parents involved, that and what's that word? Not a progressive, a productive childhood. I feel like that's what plays into the roles of them having a good life or somewhere around.
I just want to piggyback off of what he said. I feel like it's not that we ask for a perfect childhood. Nobody knows where our childhood is going to be like or where we grow up. It's understandable. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you have one parent in the household, two parents in the household. As long as you have that support and that care system in that household, that's a childhood. It doesn't matter what you have in your childhood. You could have a loaf of bread, a piece of bologna, and some ketchup in your refrigerator. As long as you have your mother, I feel like your mother, your father, your siblings, I feel like that should be the only people that should be there for you. Be that support for you, be that childhood. When you're there growing up, you trip, you fall, you scratch your knee. I felt my first kiss, your first prom. I feel like that's a childhood. If we can't experience that, you know what I'm saying? It may not be, like I said, perfect. It's not a fairy tale. That's not what our lives are. They're not fairy tales. They're not something you could joke around with, something you could play around with, turn it off when you feel like it. No. Because this is something we have to go through, waking up, sleeping, every second we breathe, every second we look at something, touch something, smell something, taste something. This is what happens. So a childhood is, yeah, it may not be perfect, but we have to accept what we get.
You guys want to
And you have to go around that. And let that happen. And that's our fault more than anything else. A childhood to me is just what you said. It's having that circle around you. It's having someone, and you're right. I had bologna, I had tomato sandwiches on it. That didn't have ketchup, that was expensive. Those are the things that we need to get back to. And what COVID did was it exacerbated it to the nth degree. That fact needs to be turned around. And I'm hoping that each one of you understands how much I hope you have turned it around for everybody out here. Because we don't understand what our children are going through, but they're trying to tell us now. They're sharing with us those things. And so I beg every single one of you in here and anybody that is listening out there that they hear this conversation. They hear what you guys are yourself and a belief in God to share it with them. Thankful for how many people in school? Now, trade school is school. I don't care what it is. School. Okay.
No.
For the rest of your life, go to school. For the rest of your life, because that is what's going to change your life. Not anything. I mean, everything's, but
Okay.
learn about humanity. You're going to learn about who we are. You're going to learn a trade that's going to make you feel good to know that you are smart. You're going to learn what it is to have a partner, and you're going to learn about what it is to be. Those are all the things you need to learn, and that you get. And you're right. It doesn't have to be a formal education. K-12, trade school, you get more money. Oh, uh-huh. Oh, go right ahead, guys. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you.
Go ahead, speak.
Okay, so declare.
I can't hear.
Okay.
I can't hear you guys. You guys are low.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm going to be yelled at by CTN. I know better. I apologize. I apologize. I apologize. Okay. Anybody want to? Did you hear what I asked about a childhood? I
No,
asked, has anybody here experienced a childhood?
Have you experienced a childhood? You know what she
I
means by
mean,
that?
Me personally, this Clarence speaking, like, I don't feel like I experienced a childhood. Like, I don't feel like I experienced a childhood. My mom was always at work. She had 4 kids. I mean, it was the kids raising the house. Like, it was the kids running the house basically, and like, it was just a free fall for real. Like, for me, like, just trying to do whatever we could to make ends meet. I feel like I had to grow up fast. Like the streets was all I knew. To be honest, I feel like I didn't have a childhood. I mean, I didn't take school seriously because, like, for me, like, I didn't really have that support. I really didn't care for it. For me, didn't really go on vacations. I really didn't get to see the world for real. So no, I don't feel like I had a childhood. I mean, I feel like I had to grow up too fast. I felt like I grew up with responsibilities and like things I had put on me that I wasn't even ready for. Like I wasn't even ready to walk into this. So no, I don't feel like I had a childhood, to be honest.
Can I ask a question? Are any of you parents, or do you want to be parents?
I'm a parent. This is Jermaine speaking. Um, I do feel like I experienced a childhood. I moved in with my aunt when I was 3 years old. She adopted me, and she gave me the best childhood possible. I just feel like the community I grew up in and the things I went outside, going to the park, seeing, and the type of role models I have, feel like I rushed my childhood. I wanted to do these things other people were doing, but I weren't their age yet. So I feel like I went down that path at a young age, and that forced me to like grow up fast and not enjoy my childhood like I should.
The reason why I ask that is because you're going to have children. And in this conversation we're having today about your childhood, how are you going to change it for your children?
Um, I have a daughter, so I know it's very important for me to be in her life. My father wasn't in mine. I made some wrong choices in my life, but the groups and the programs and the opportunities I've been taking advantage of while I've been in here are preparing me to get back out there and be a good father, an active father, a role model for her, and to continue to stay in her life. Um, it's very important for me though, but I just want her to do the right things, and I don't want her to grow up like I did. I want her to be able to say she had her mother, she had her father, and we both supported her. She can come talk to me about anything, and vice versa with her mother.
Thank you, Jermaine, because I think one of the first things that all of us want to do is make sure that we don't continue with this lifestyle where we go back and we work with our partners. And if we have children, we give them the opportunity to have a childhood. so that they can change the next generation. So I thank you all at Manson. I thank you all for participating with us. I really, really thank everybody here that came. I apologize for crying, but it's got to me. I want to tell you that I want to make sure that all of you, we heard you. We wrote some things down. Write us some things that you want us to do, and then challenge us to meet them. I want to challenge. Yes. Oh, okay. Do you know my name? My name is Tony Wall.
Yeah.
I'm a state rep here. I'm from New Haven. I'm a social worker. I have my job here at the Capitol. Everybody's gonna say, "Ooh, it is not very I did it again. Oh shit! I can't stand, so I gotta hate you. My job here is to work on trying to balance some resources around the state for the communities. But I can only do that if you help me make sure that the resources that we balance are doing the right thing for you in your communities. So I ask each one of you, write to us, tell us what you think we should be doing, and give us a time frame. And I guarantee you, we will write you back. Either that or we'll bring you back here. We'll feed you if we bring you back. And we'll make sure that we'll make this a worthwhile event for you, but also for us, so that we stop making those mistakes and we stop doing things that we think are right that have nothing to do with you. We don't need to be in the way. We need to be the ones to help you. So I thank you for that, okay? Yes, my co-chair. Would you like a mic?
Thanks, Chair Walker. I'm Daniel Karpowitz. I work on another branch of the government, the executive branch, so on the governor's staff inside the agencies that ultimately, believe it or not, belong to you. And so I have the privilege of coming here into this building where you make your laws and join Representative Walker, Representative Nolan, and the other members of JPOC and representing the executive branch. A prominent Democratic statesman of the 20th century once said, "It takes courage to stand up and speak, and it takes courage to sit down and listen." I want to thank you for giving us the opportunity to sit down and listen today. And I want to thank you for having the courage to stand up and speak. One moment. This is your building. This is the Legislative General Assembly of the state of Connecticut. And the representatives who are here, like Chair Walker and others, they make laws that we have in the state. Good and bad, many, too few. This is the building in which that happens. And a big part of that lawmaking is spending the money we tax and spend, and it's billions of dollars every year. And I want to thank you for participating in this process, because it is your process. You are reminding us today who we work for. And this is very hard work, in part because it's a democracy. Because there's hundreds of us, thousands of us trying to do this work. It's not one person who gets to decide. The good thing about that is it's a democracy. The bad thing about that is it's very, very hard to do. And so that's a choice we have to make. Thank you for being in this building, the house where laws are made, and putting your energy and heart and brains into that process. That is true for the 5 citizens at Manson who are here thinking and speaking to us and with us, and for all of you here. Thank you. That's it. Sir, did you have something you wanted to say in the back?
I had a question for the people at Manson. I was gonna say, how often in the mornings do they like check on you guys and ask if you guys are okay and see how you're feeling in the morning?
This is Jermaine speaking. So we have the COs, they come around and they do their tour every 15 to 30 minutes. They come around. But we also have like our lieutenants who come around, mental health, the nurses, our counselors, they come around, they check in, make sure, we're breathing, we're doing fine. And yeah, we have a lot of people doing that.
All right, I'd ask that question because I know that sometimes in the morning people could wake up in negative moods and not feel like speaking to anybody, and then that mood could end up like dragging on throughout the day. And then I know that at my school in the morning, the principal and there's always a teacher with him, they stand outside and they greet everybody one by one as they come in, and that could like push you out of the negative mindset. That way you could have a positive mood going into the day.
Thank you. And you're right. Greeting each other in the morning or in the afternoons, just with the hello, is really something worthwhile. Is there, I'm sorry.
Um, yeah. So here in Manson we got a program, LEAD. It's called LEAD. It stands for Learn, Educate, Appreciate, and Develop. It's a good program to be in. The counselors are actually more involved. They put you in more groups. They always check in. They always ask you how you're doing. It's like a thing we do every morning. It's like a circle, and we tell what our goal is for the week and how we're gonna get it accomplished, and getting involved more with people, how to talk, have communication and stuff. Work on our communication skills, way to just engage with community members around us, and lead them to wanting to change just like we are.
Thank you. Is there anyone, last question? Go ahead, babe. Oh.
I just wanted to spin back onto what Tristan had said about greetings and stuff like that. I found greetings to be very helpful because when I wake up in the morning, I don't be wanting to go to school or nothing like that, so I'd be angry walking into the door. And I just want to shout out Mr. Foster that's back there for always like greeting everybody and like putting a smile on people's face when they walk into the building. And that has been proven to make my day a little better, seeing Mr. Foster with a smile on his face when I'm angry.
I have a question regarding to the NYI youth, and my question to y'all is, do y'all feel that the mental health opportunities that y'all have in there is not efficient due to y'all feel that y'all could be penalized for what y'all say, or it feels that it's in interrogation?
Um, Me personally, I take advantage of the mental health given to us. I personally, I'm speaking for myself. I really don't care what somebody else has to say about me. If I'm feeling a certain type of way and I know I need help, I need to go talk to somebody and I'm going through something, I go do that, not worrying about what people say or if I'm going to be penalized or not. But I know in the youth, there's a lot of that going on. People feel like if you feel one way, then that's not the right way, or like peer pressure. It's many different things going on in the youth right now where just the way they think is the wrong way of thinking about their peers or themselves or anyone else.
Thank you. I'm going to have to stop the questions and answers because it's been a lot. And then I want you to know, first of all, they stayed the whole time and they were mesmerized. So y'all did real good. Thank you very much. You're helping me. You're helping me a lot. But I thank you also, and I want to thank Tao Youth Justice Center for all the work that you guys were rock. I also want to thank all of the agencies that came here today with their outstanding staff and all the things that they do. We are really, really so proud to have you guys in our group. So thank you, Erica.
Okay, and thank you to the Community Expertise Work Group as well. And before, I just want to acknowledge another thing, as you should have received, and it will be shared electronically if it hasn't already, but I'm pretty sure it does because I know Brittany Lamar, amazing, amazing person to Brittany, who worked really hard to, in partnership with the community expertise to get this report done, but I do want to highlight this report, and I want to highlight the cover. Tristan, are you here? Tristan, can you please stand up? Tristan did the cover for the report, which is very, very impressive. And just want to acknowledge such creative artwork and thank you. And then lastly, if you are a student and you need an excused absence, we do have letters for you signed by our 2 chairs of the JJPOC. Thank you, everybody. Please see me for your excused absence. Thank you.